Oh, the dreaded querying process. I have been so averse to the whole idea of writing query after query, trying to get an agent's attention or a publisher's attention. But this last week, I have been going to a pitch conference where the leader of this conference, who's done this for many years, teaches you how to craft your pitch. And then she lines you up with publishers and with agents so that you can pitch your idea to this publisher or agent. And right there on the spot, they tell you if they want to receive pages from you or the whole manuscript or what. So you get an answer right then if your foot is in the door. So this week, well, like I say, this last week, but also this week, because we're going to be actually doing the pitches this week. But this last week, I spent a whole week in training with this coach and a whole bunch of other authors so that we could learn just how to pitch to the agent or the publisher. And it was quite a process to get ready with this pitch. A few things that you have to have around that is it has to be 3 minutes or under. She recommends like 500 words or under. And you have to, in that time, have a super tight bio and then some comps and your synopsis. And the synopsis needs to follow story format with a hook and providing character and setting and conflict and ending on a cliffhanger. And then, of course, at the end, offering a one-liner if the person wants to hear a one-liner. And so for this entire week, we worked on these pitches. And you would think, oh, to just write a 500-word basic synopsis of the book, how hard can that be? But it's actually really hard. And there's a couple of things I really like about it. And that is it's made me think a lot about what is my theme? What is the main plot points? What's my message? What is like the essence of this book that I'm writing? So I feel like in a way, working on the pitch is kind of like a developmental edit. It makes you look at the big picture. A developmental edit is exactly that. What is the whole idea behind this book? And of course, there's more to it, like what's your structure going to be? Where are you going to plug which item where? So developmental edit has a lot, of course, to it. And I don't know that much about it. I'm just learning and talking about what I'm learning. But I feel like the process of crafting a pitch has helped me in a way do developmental editing. It's helped me to see more clearly what the main ideas of the book are, because you can't get lost in little details or unnecessary description or like little vanity paragraphs in a pitch. You have to, in 3 minutes, provide a very tight bio, and that bio needs to show that publisher or agent why you are the one to write this book, why you have the expertise or the insight or the passion or whatever that would justify you writing this book, why you're a good fit for this particular genre or this particular topic. And then, of course, your comps, which are the comparable titles on the market, they need to alert the publisher or agent that you're not writing something that the market can't tolerate. Basically, that you're writing something that the market would be interested in. And I had some troubles with finding comps for my work because one comp I really liked is like 20 years old and it was very popular. And my book coach said, you absolutely should shy away from that because it was such a runaway bestseller that agents and publishers will tune out if you use that as a comp because you just look weird. If you're going to, she says, it's just like in the fantasy world, you would never use Harry Potter as a comp because that's overclaiming what you think you can do with your book. So I'm like, okay. I was able to find a couple of other titles that I feel are generally-ish in the neighborhood, but no perfect comps. And then, of course, like I was saying, you have to have that whole synopsis that, if you have only 500 words to do the entire job, the synopsis is probably under 300. And so to get that whole book with the hook and the character and the setting, the conflict and the cliffhanger and all the major themes, just giving a bird's eye view and do it in such a tantalizing way that this person really wants to hear more from you. That's the whole point. So a couple of other things that we talked about in this coaching about creating a pitch was more than just how to word it in a tight way so you don't have extraneous words, so that it's nice and pithy and hits all the right buttons, hits all the right points. But another thing that we talked about is mindset, that you have to see yourself as a winner. You have to see yourself as already, an author. You have to believe in yourself. And I think I like what the coach did, because she did more than just preach, you should believe in yourself. Because I think we all know that. But she exuded that. When she's interacting with us, she's so respectful and kind and builds everybody up and tries to help them see their own creativity and their own genius. She tries to help everyone just tune in to the greatness within them so that they can say, I can do this, instead of oh no, I don't belong, or my ideas aren't going to make sense to anybody, or I'm an outsider here. Whatever the voices are, that could get in the way of someone who's newly coming onto the scene. She did a lot of work with us there. And one of the last things that she helped us with in preparing for the pitch was to go over all the details about how you want to look and come across in that moment. You only have 3 minutes to make this first impression. So of course, mindset has to be right. You've got to believe in yourself. Your pitch has to be right. It needs to be worded well, nice and tight, have all the right elements. But then when you show up for the pitch, you need to represent yourself well. And this particular pitch conference is taking place online. So it's in Zoom meetings. And so she talked a lot about, you need to have an appropriate background. You need to do your hair, makeup, clothes in a way that's non-distracting, but shows you as a professional. And so we went over all those things, and she went one by one with us and checked us off to make sure our sound quality was good, our background looked okay, all these things, because of course, even if you have a great pitch, but you're talking to an agent, you only have 3 minutes, and you've got a bunch of piled up laundry in the back of your background, it will be distracting. So I guess the moral of the story is I've been in a long training for this last week about how to prepare and deliver my pitch. And this next week, I will be meeting with 5 agents / publishers to actually give the pitch. And in my next episode, I will give a practice run of the pitch so you can hear what I'm actually going to be sharing with those publishers and agents. And after the week is over, of course, I will report back and let you know if I had any requests from the publishers and agents. Good luck with you and your writing. I would love to connect with you. If you go to my bio, you will find a couple of links where you could hop on my newsletter so that I can see your name come through in my newsletter list. And when I get to sending things out, you will hear from me so that we can stay connected. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Happy writing.